We meet again in Soccer We Trust YouTube fam, but this time to talk about the new and U.S. men's national team jerseys that just dropped. What are your thoughts? That's what we want to know. So hit like and subscribe, and then hit us up in the comments with all of these great thoughts. We already see a whole bunch of them, and then we're going to get after it. Yes! What is up, everybody, and welcome to Oscar Pereira's favorite podcast of Soccer We Trust, because after he came on as a special guest, he won the U.S. Open Cup. Coincidence? I think not! Anyway, I'm Jimmy Trashcan Conrad alongside Hollywood Heath Pearce and Charlie Chuckwagon Davies, and for the first time in the history of the internet, the people who support the U.S. men's national team have come together to really embrace U.S. soccer's rallying cry of one nation, one team, and this is to show their uniformity in their great disdain and dislike for the new uniforms that the U.S. men's national team will be wearing during the 2022 World Cup. Now, these jerseys were leaked a while back, but we didn't know for sure if these were going to be the ones. But now it's official. They are the ones. And I want to get the thoughts of my cohorts here, Charlie and Heath. Heath, I'm going to come to you first. No disrespect to you, Charlie. I know you guys are both fashionistas. Go ahead, Heath.
Yeah, first of all, Jimmy, I appreciate you calling yourself Trash Can Conrad, because when I was sending you guys out the books, the World Cup books that we're going to be like collecting stuff on, I wrote in Charlie, and she was like, what's his other name? I'm like, Chuckwagon Davies. And I felt funny saying that. And then when she asked me for years, I was putting your address in at the FedEx store. She was like, and is there another name? And I didn't want to say cream cheese, because that was too much for me, because I knew she was going to be like, all right, this guy's taking the piss. And I could not remember trash can, which I could have said in one word, like trash can or something like that. But yeah,
no.
Yeah.
So what'd you do?
I ended up just putting James Conrad, and I didn't even put Jim.
I prefer Jim.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right, so give me your thoughts on this, Heath.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Is that why you were late? Because you're at the post office sending us these things?
I also want to put my hand up. This one was on me. Normally, it's always Chuckwagon, because like sometimes he's in the helicopter and like he's got that the Starlink from Elon Musk, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But this one was on me. New kits, Jimmy. I am a fan. But on a personal level.
What do you mean
like
on a personal level?
Like the white ones have a little bit of this on, like a little of this, like the neck on it. It gives me some nostalgia. I'm trying to find out what year it was and why I was connected to those. Why I feel connected to those. But there's an era of the neck, and I don't know, maybe you guys remember that. I think it was around my youth national team era that this has some like nostalgia that is giving back to me. Otherwise, it's kind of a whatever. But on a personal level, I keep going back to this nostalgia that's coming around the neck. Obviously, a huge crest. People are going hard on the memes on this one too, including the Chris Mackey. I don't know if you saw that one where he's like, when I accidentally put my shirt on inside out or backwards or something like that, this is the face I make type of thing of Tyler Adams in this one. But yeah. I mean, that's my initial thoughts on it. It's got some nostalgia in it for me as somebody who wore it. I've got a stack of 20 different U.S. jerseys on the ground right now. Should be on the ground. That's disrespect, but took them out of a box, and I can't find the ones that it reminds me of, but I'm still looking.
I actually think that they look like some former U.S. women's national team jerseys back in the 2003, 2004 era that have a similar type of thing. But it would make sense if you actually want us to win in these jerseys. It'd probably make them look like the women. Those women
I'll tell you. Well, the women are wearing these jerseys.
Yeah, the white ones look great because they have four stars on top.
Yeah.
The four stars brings that jersey together. We don't have any stars.
No stars.
Stars.
We're missing stars. Okay, Chuck, what are your thoughts on this? Because Heath conveniently forgot to talk about the blue one, which looks like a warm-up. But go ahead. You go ahead.
I think the blue is fire.
You think the blue is what is happening?
Yes, I really like the blue.
For a warm-up. I agree with you for a warm-up.
What do you mean for a warm-up? Why not?
I don't
why
like
not? I think that's dope. I like it.
It is very warm-up-esque that we see now, right? It is very third kit-esque of like the tie-dye,
Look,
I don't know if this is called marble or
the Arsenal warm-up kit. I got the
I think I love those too.
Warm-up.
Yeah, but again, that's not Arsenal's colors. It's a reggae color, but I think those are unbelievable. This blue kit, I think when you see it on, and this is another thing that I don't think Nike did a great job at doing, which is making sure that they're in the match kits. The white ones were the replica ones. They weren't they weren't the blue ones when you have like the proper stitching. It's light and it has like the design around the sweat marks. Like it's clean. Mm-hmm. I think the blue. I really like the blue. The white one.
Interesting.
There's nothing that's like making it different outside that I like the center crest. But I'm with you guys on the white kit. I think, you know,
I think the white kit looks better in full, like white, navy blue socks. I don't mind that combo. Now, I don't think it's that fun or that creative at the top, right? With all the the NFL type shoulder bridging that they're doing. I think that they had 8 years to create something and they didn't really have that much fun with it. It looks pretty boring, all things considered. The blue one though just looks like a warm up to me. And since we've seen some other kits out there that fans have put together, those look pretty sick. And you just like, wow, if somebody had just put maybe 10 minutes into thinking this through,
I
it
will
could have been
say
a little bit better.
I will say this though, Jimmy, in the spirit of being excited about the World Cup for our national team, by and large, Twitter is not the most positive place to go and it was designed.
It's a
from what
negative
I understand,
echo chamber?
I was told that it was designed to provoke doom scrolling, which is what the app was built for. But this guy posted this thing, and it somehow got across my feed. His name's his handle is @thesoccergoose. His name's Ben Goshorn. Immediately was like, okay, these aren't good, but I'm going to do tie-dye jobs for anybody who wants. So for $30 more, whatever. Like he basically was like, found a solution to saying, hey, buy the kit, support it. You know, this actually supports whatever it is that it supports, but we can make it better. And I'm going to go about making it better. And I messaged him. I was like, dude, I definitely want to get that done because I don't mind the white one because it gives me some nostalgia. But if you want to make it better, there's people out there that can customize those. I went to, I remember getting one from Nowhere FC guys, tie-dyed one for me back in the day. That was one of the had my name on it and everything. And I was like, dude, this is sick. It made it my own, one of one. And if you don't like the shirt, make it better because you can. And there's people out there that will customize it. You know,
I have to say this though. At the end of the day, we're not Portugal's kit. Okay, look at Portugal's kit. That thing is a horror show. It's just a diagonal separating the two colors.
Yeah, Portugal's is terrible.
That's by far the worst.
It's the worst.
Portugal's kit is by far the worst.
Well, also I should mention that I heard that Canada didn't even get World Cup jerseys because they have to make them 18 months in advance. So in March 2021, Nike didn't think that Canada was going to qualify for the World Cup, so they don't have proper World Cup jerseys.
Canada were in first place almost like half of the qualifying, and they didn't have like a release video or content that was like
nothing.
They didn't have anything, and they missed. Yeah, that is 100% true. Actually, they missed the window to get their jerseys fully customized.
Canada doesn't have jerseys.
People are going crazy about
that. Might be worse than Portugal.
Jimmy. Poland's is just a red shirt with a Nike swoosh on it and some things on the sleeves, and people are like, yo, crisp. Clean, you know, like, man. Look at
I like your troll voice.
Like just like you know, look at just look at this red, you know, like look at the red of this, you know. I get that the white one from U.S. Soccer feels lazy. It does feel like a lazy take. The blue one has some character. The blue one is subjective to whether you like it or not, right? They did have so much. I mean,
that's fine.
To be fair, Jimmy. If you were Nike, you might have been in the same boat as Canada, looking at the U.S. the way we did in 2018. Going like, should we put the A team on this? Should we put the A team on this? And they're like, nah. I mean, shoot, this is a young team.
We don't even know if they're going to qualify. Let's put the C squad on this.
Go back to Honduras. You lose that game in Honduras, life becomes real difficult.
I get it.
Back in that second half. But if you're Nike in the design room at halftime, you're going, guys. Stop the design work.
Stop it.
Stop the design work. Go to lunch. Hey, I need you working on some basketball. I need some of you going over to the NFL package.
Wow.
You know, everybody pencils down, you know, test is over.
I like that conspiracy theory. Another one that I have is that I think that Nike know that this World Cup, and I tweeted it out, are somewhat playing four-dimensional chess. This is an important World Cup, of course. But the one in 2026 is going to be the one where every single person in this country is going to want one of those kits. And those have to be bangers.
Those have to be absolute fire.
Bangers. So I think they're lowering expectations right now. They're lowering expectations for 2022 because they're considering them as warm-ups because they know 2026 that they know that we're hosting. So they're automatically going to get in, which now nullifies Heath's moving forward because they know we're going to be a part of it. Have to be bangers. They have to be bangers. I saw this guy's on show it. Producer Alex, we have these ones. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't already, or follow any of us in Soccer We Trust. And Heath and Charlie Davis. And we have these up. This is the Waldo one's kind of a remake of the Waldo. That one's good. Okay, but show the other ones. If you're listening to this, go to ISWT Pod, follow us on Twitter. This navy blue one, though, is a jam. It's navy blue with like little white stars all over it with a red trim.
Like it.
I love that one. And then the last one is a black one, kind of like Bayern Munich's third kit from last season.
And
It has the Declaration of Independence written on it, and
That
really
is sick.
small,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's sick.
Wow.
It's sick. Anyway, I just wanted to throw these out there. That
I'll
if
tell
put
you,
some
we're not
time
wearing
into this-
we're not wearing black in Qatar for a World Cup. Even
No,
if it's
that's
winter.
fair. I mean, the summer in 26
You know?
isn't going to get.
Oh yeah,
any
you want
cooler.
you want that. I mean, that's why I have a feeling that's going to be when I'm assuming it's going to have to be in the final's going to be in an arena because you want to roll out that third kit. That's going to be that black one. Sick when the U.S. is in that final. But it's got to be indoors.
Talk about a statement kit with that one, right? In terms of everything that would stand for, but I say everybody should do there should be a competition and for all the supporters to come up with their ideal kit and hopefully they take that into consideration, for the next one.
Don't you think there's too much pride at stake for these designers from Nike, Adidas, wherever, that they're not going to take anybody from the internet to give them ideas, and they can't rip these ideas because now there'll be a copyright thing or at least be some type of legal battle. I mean, I think they should just hire this guy and get his input and take it from there. But anyway, I just like those three concept kits. That's all.
I'm gonna throw up a few.
Okay, you throw
for
up a
anybody
few.
that's watching. You guys tell me what you guys like about this. Was my original. This is 06, I think.
Yeah, I'm a fan because
Yeah.
that was.
Do
The
you
one
wear
I
this in
played
the World Cup? Yeah.
I did not because we only
No.
wore it against Czech Republic.
I mean, I think it's got, I like the red. It pops on
I
that a
didn't
little
play.
bit. You have the this is a long sleeve.
That's
but this
2010, right?
Yeah, this is the one that has that stripe across the chest.
Yeah, a little sash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That one's pretty
sentimental, but I wouldn't.
pretty generic.
I'm not saying that's fire
Okay.
at all.
That's fair. That's fair. This is like the 06.
I love
this,
that
actually,
one.
this might
I
be
love that
06 also. This might be 05.
That's when I
this
came
is-
into the team.
yeah.
was
That's
in
total
2005.
Yeah. So yeah, this is 05. So that one that Jimmy's wearing is the 06, I think. This is that lighter material. This is that what was it? What'd you say, Charlie?
I was gonna say that total 90.
Total
I had
90,
that the white
circle.
kit of that. I thought was
Yeah.
absolutely. I thought that was fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have that one too.
The
I
one
was gonna
behind
say
them.
though,
Yeah.
what was interesting is those total 90 kits. Didn't Holland wear the same ones, just a different color scheme, and Mexico and
Almost everybody.
Everybody,
basically
right?
had-
Yeah.
There wasn't anything that separating it except the colors.
These are our qualifiers. Again, the white. I mean,
I have that too.
if you're from our era, you would know this is a lot of home games during qualifying. We're in that one.
A lot of wins.
A lot of dubs. Yeah. This is a
I have that
classic
one too.
gray,
Mm-hmm.
big collar, long sleeve, and then obviously we got the
Copa
pinstripe
America
affiliate, yeah.
pinstripe. That was in like a nod to baseball. I remember, like a July 4th nod to baseball.
and then they got this one with the stripes
Cup.
with the stripes
Yeah,
down.
I'm a big fan of that one.
World Cup qualifying.
That was my first cap. That was my first cap kit.
Is it? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
this
those
is what
are just a few that I mean, the
No.
one behind me is one of my favorites because when you're playing in them, a lot of it's material, it's weight, it's that comfort, but like that total 90 era of just the boot, it's not quite mercurial, but it was a big era in terms of like the rollout from Nike. That circle was iconic on everything. I actually have a pair of those boots somewhere around here still from the upper 90s.
From what I understand, for the World
total
Cup,
90. Sorry.
the U.S. is going to wear white against Wales and then wear their blue against England and Iran.
Ooh.
So I do know that. That's, from what I understand, that's been confirmed.
Let's
that
go.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. It would have been pretty cool to wear the Declaration of Independence type kit though against England, but this is all
That would have been like a stiff arm.
it would have been, or like a little some tea party stuff. Anyway, what's your favorite jersey then? Of any World Cup, what's the one that really stands out for you? Was that 98, Heath?
Yeah, I believe this is a 98-ish. I'm not sure if it was World Cup.
No, the World Cup was the thin
yeah.
line across.
But this was that period of 98 that I loved. I loved this one. But it's also like that window. I would have been around 14 years old, which was my first entry point into like ODP, state, and then regional team and regional pool, the national pool, national team, and getting called in. These were the shirts that you got from my very first youth national team camp. And so that for me has just like sort of the first time that I felt validated for work that I had done. So it's got a special place for me.
I like the Centennial kit. This is the Centennial kit, 100-year Centennial kit. I wish we would have done more with these because I like it's
pretty
simple,
boring.
Yeah. It is, but the crest is unique and
yeah, you look like a railroad union worker. Jimmy.
Okay, here we go. and then this is the third kit for 2006. that we
I
only
remember that
won
one
once against Latvia in a warm-up game prior to going to the World Cup.
I don't remember what the history was, but that vintage crest they had on that one, because we never, like, one thing that with brands, right, is that they don't play with, like, brand guidelines are intense. Like, you go into Nike design, like, there's a lot of rules that they don't break on their own things. Like Adidas 3 stripes, you never see the stripes broken in any sort of row of things, unless it's like Adidas Originals. They have a little bit different rules, but there's like crazy brand guidelines. To go to that vintage crest, I think is pretty cool. Feels very Trinidad-y. But
yeah, I like the color as well. I'm a color fan, so that one hit well with me, and it was obviously a big honor to wear it because we only wore them once, so they're pretty hard to get. We got.
Would you guys have liked to see collars this time around? Because I look at the Man U and, like, it's been a while since I've liked a shirt of, like, any teams other than, like, when they go crazy third kits, because I think those are cool. But, like, Man United pulled out that collar with, like, the triangles on it this year, and I was like, that's sick. Collars are back.
I like collars.
Yeah.
I wish collars were back.
I'm all about collars.
He likes to pop that collar.
I used to pop it.
I knew it.
Charlie with his vest, and then, like, the collar popped of his U.S. Polo Association shirt underneath. Do
you think that if we do well and get out of our group, that these jerseys will then look like, because we look at the denim kits now and think, oh, those aren't bad, but at the time, I remember those getting, like, these are the worst jerseys of all time. Like, why are the
most people were like that? But
now when you look back at that, you go, hey, that's a pretty cool kit. I wish I had one, because there's some nostalgia attached to it and what that meant to you at your time in your life and blah, blah, blah. And I wonder if that would be the same thing, that if we just win a few, because Nike came out and said, this is a quote, because he, let me see, where is his quote here? His name is Aaron Barnett. He's been with Nike for 26 years. He said, people always hate the new jerseys at first. Then your team wins its first game, and this is the best jersey they've ever had.
I'll tell you what, it's about how they make you feel and memories that attach with those jerseys. So 94 was my first World Cup. Anything that in 94, you talk about Ronaldo and Romario and Bebeto playing up top together. That's a core memory of mine. Seeing the rat tail of Roberto Baggio, that's a core memory of mine. And those US kits, the way they, like, just competed, that for me stands out. So I'll always think of that jersey in a positive light. So for me, I'm looking at the moments throughout my youth career and professional career, those moments that were big, I'm always going to think of those kits like, I need to have it. I don't care what it looks like. I'm going to think of it as a fire kit just because of that sentimental value.
Okay. Now, another employee of Nike.
Charlie looks like he's wearing an Orlando Magic soccer jersey.
Another Nike employee, Rolando Cruz, who was involved in the creative process for both of these jerseys from start to finish, said, we were really drawn into this idea of sports culture in the country, and Nike started to look at classic American jerseys across different sports, which I think is him giving a nod to American football and the NFL and just those kind of those markings over the shoulder per se. I feel like the women's jerseys have done that before as well. So that's just to give you guys some context as to what Nike's thinking about that. Barnett, who I mentioned before, said people will always have opinions. I love that. He said, I remember being in 1998 in the room with Cindy Parlow and Brandy Chastain and Mia Hamm, and I guarantee you there was as many opinions then as we have today, but then they went on to win the World Cup in 99, and now everybody thinks that those jerseys were great. So I think he's definitely aligning himself there, but some of his quotes feel a little defensive if I'm reading into it, Heath. I don't know. Just like
it's true. Take soccer out of it. Take design out of it. Take all the things going into the World Cup of what people want, right? People know, it's very clear people subjectively know what they don't want once they see it. I get that. But if you look at, and this is not to justify, because I do think that these jerseys could have maybe been pushed a little bit further or a little bit harder. But I still think by and large people would complain about it because that's way more fun. But if you look at all, like, go into every brand that you wear, go look at all of them, and then look at them through the eyes of just the actual logo in itself, and tell me you like any of them. You like them based on what they give you from a sentiment, from a feeling. Brands earn the visibility of brands. A lot of brands come out and you go, oh man, whether it's a brand or a logo or whatever, you go, this is so ugly. And then 3 years on, when it's banging, you go, dang. It's the same reason why Charlie wore bootcut jeans for so long, and now he's wearing them, and now he's wearing them again. Charlie's back into true religion because he knew back then it was cool. and it makes it come like, look at how baggy jeans are. Baggy jeans were big when I was in junior high school. And then it became like if you weren't wearing skinny jeans, dude, you didn't know how to dress, right? And now baggy jeans are back. And your perception of that changes over time. And that is not like, you have to look in the mirror and go, yeah, that is an actual reality.
Heath Pearce compares shirt to baggy jeans. That's
no, he's in overalls, and he's just making the same comparison.
Okay. So Charlie, I want to get your thoughts on this. Yunus Musa, when asked about these new kits, said the kits are, they're the kits that they made. Okay, hold on. And then he also added, I'm sure they're gonna look good enough on the pitch. Is he Yunus Musa? That's
he a Nike,
not a
Nike athlete? Does he wear Nike?
He does. I think he does.
You sure? I thought he was Puma.
Maybe he is.
Let's check.
Either way, he could have. I feel like brand aside, it's more just about the design, and he didn't seem too high on the design. But
I'm gonna go see what brand. I'm gonna go see what brand he wears because if he is.
Well, then they should have asked something. Bold. Okay, so Charlie asks, what are you thinking about Yunus Musa? That's one. Second, there's been a lot of promos for this kit from US Soccer and their handles and all the social media stuff. There are a few familiar faces on there. And we know, or at least from our own time, that if you were a player and you were in one of those advertisements, you're pretty much going to be a lock for the upcoming games or potentially the World Cup.
Yeah.
And in these ads, we know Zimmerman's going to be there. We saw Aaron Long. We saw Chris Richards. We saw Jordan Morris. Paul Areola are in these ads. Those are the ones that I think are probably necessarily on the bubble. I don't think Chris Richards is on the bubble. And I don't think Aaron Long is, given that Greg loves him so much. But that just confirms for me that they are spending some time making sure these guys are being marketed.
There's only like 2 guys from this camp that aren't going to the World Cup. And that's to make room for Zach Steffen and Timo Weah. Is there anybody else that's missing, injured, that I'm thinking of?
Yeah, there's one more that was injured, I thought. Anthony Robinson.
Anthony Robinson. Okay, so 3 guys, right? And it could be Paul Areola. Could be one if he's right or left, or the versatility of that. It's going to be Areola or Morris that doesn't go.
I think it's going to be either Areola or Morris that doesn't go, and Scally or Vines that doesn't go. So that's 2 spots.
2, and a goalie.
And then a goalkeeper.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
There you go. We figured it out, everybody. God, we're smart.
Boom.
We are really smart.
Geez,
okay,
shut it down.
So final question before we take our first and only break, and then come back with some updates on how our players did in the Champions League midweek. And we got Jordan Pefok playing for Union Berlin today in the Europa League. Are you going to buy this jersey? If you had an opportunity to go buy the jersey, would you buy it? Charlie, I'm coming to you first.
He's got the opportunity, but
he wants to buy the blue
one. He wants one in the mail. That's for sure. Me too, Charlie. I'm right there with you, man.
No wonder you guys are speaking about this positively. You want the freebies, you bastards.
Yeah. I'm gonna go buy it. Yeah, the blue one for sure.
Yeah. So Chuck, you would say, okay, you're gonna buy the blue one. How about you, Heath?
I'm gonna buy one of them. I don't know which one I'm gonna buy, but I definitely want one just because I like to wear like.
You're gonna get the white one. Get it tie-dyed.
Yeah, that's true. I told the guy, and he said he's stoked to help me out. So I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it tie-dyed. He said really excited to make a custom kit for you. Let's go over some of the. Oh shoot, I didn't respond to any of this stuff. I got to respond to that. My bad. But yeah, I like the blue because it's already tie-dyed. Job's already done. And the white one, I might just get to see if I can customize it because I do like customizing things.
I could see Jim just buying the track jacket.
Yeah. Jimmy wants the track jacket.
I will say, I bet you the track jacket's going to be absolute fire compared to these 2 kits.
Jimmy wants the visor. He's like, where's the visor? They never release visors in the capsule collections anymore for Jimmy, and that's the only thing he wants.
That's all I want. Look at my visor right here. I got my old '94 US Soccer visor. That's
there
the
he
visor
is.
and the track jacket. Yeah. And I'll grow the mustache. I'll go full Ted Lasso and go full Kit Wanker for everybody here. All right, we're going to take our first and only break of In Soccer We Trust. When we come back, we got more to dive into as it pertains to our player pool. Do not go anywhere.
The UEFA Champions League. 9 months of heart-stopping, hold-your-breath exhilaration. While Mbappe shines in the city of lights, Benzema's racking up the hat tricks, and the Reds want Mo Magic in Liverpool. This ain't amateur hour. This is the best of the best of the best. This is the UEFA Champions League. Stream every match live on Paramount+.
Welcome back to In Soccer We Trust. I'm Jimmy Conrad alongside Charlie Davies and Heath Pearce, and that was a fun, scintillating conversation about the U.S. men's national team jerseys that are being dropped for the 2022 World Cup. I'm probably the only one that seems kind of whatever on both, but these guys seem to like one of each or the blues or whatever. I don't know. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Hit us up on Twitter, ISWTpod. Drop us a follow there
Don't
as
let
well.
the people sway
Hit like
you.
and subscribe. Yeah, whatever you want. If you got a feeling, you got a vibe for it. I just think the blue one looks like a warm-up kit. I don't mind the white one in its full iteration. But I'll probably buy the white one. Maybe. I'll think about it. I got to figure out who I want on the back. Speaking of jerseys, by the way, I have a whole bunch of Leeds jerseys we got to give away. We got to figure out when we're going to do that. I got some Brendan Aronson and some Tyler Adams. Speaking of, can I hold them up really quick? Which one do you guys prefer? Because I got one right here. Do you like this one? Because this kind of looks like the blue kit for the U.S. men's national team, but just in different colors. Yeah, you like this? Okay.
I mean, shirt sponsor, like the sponsors are getting wild now, the brands and stuff. Like, I don't know what does that say? Like the actual like chest
it's
part,
like,
Jimmy.
I don't know. S bot top.
I'm assuming it's like a bet. Is it a betting company or something?
I don't know, man. This is just like a traditional.
Well, I can't consciously support this, Jimmy, till you find out for me. You know.
Okay, fine. Then I'll do that.
If I had to choose between the two, it's the clean white.
Yeah, clean white's pretty good.
Yeah,
I like the other one. The other one's sick.
You like the marble one?
I mean,
so it's interesting.
It's over the top, and I like over the top from time to time, but like it's not something I would like wear on a daily basis. I guess some Aaron West would wear like 3 days a week, like over the top colors like that.
Wow, Aaron West taking a stray here on In Soccer We Trust.
Absolute straight.
Go look at Aaron. Go look at Aaron's Instagram, man.
He's
got wild colors on all the time.
All right, so
grazed him.
This last match day was a record for the U.S. men's national team, as 9 Americans got to get some minutes over these Tuesday and Wednesday of this past week. We had Cameron Carter-Vickers in the 1-1 draw for Celtic against Shakhtar Donetsk away from home, actually in Warsaw because they cannot play their games in Ukraine for obvious reasons. Jimmy Chandler came on late for Eintracht Frankfurt. Josh Cohen made some big-time saves, by the way, for Maccabi Haifa for against PSG and against Messi and Neymar and Mbappe. That was pretty cool, but they still lost. Serginho Dest getting some minutes for Milan. Weston McKennie playing for Juventus. Christian Pulisic coming on for a little, wave for about 5 or 6 minutes for Chelsea. Gio Reyna got to start against Manchester City. That's probably the biggest deal. James Sands, listen to this, got 2 yellow cards in 2 minutes, got a red card, got a penalty, and then Rangers went on to lose. So that sucks. Malik Tillman came on with about 20 minutes left to go when the game was pretty much out of reach. And I did see that Greg Berhalter came out and said that he was disappointed in how Malik Tillman played in those back-to-back 4-0 losses against Celtic in the Old Firm Derby and against Ajax in the match day 1 of the Champions League.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, imagine your national team coach coming out publicly and saying he's disappointed in him.
Well, what did you say? Paul Areola's in front of Malik Tillman in the depth chart? Different positions, but in terms of like making the roster of trust?
I could see Tillman out and P-Folk in. Like in a scenario where people,
I don't think P-Fog's coming anymore, man. I've thought about this a little bit. I don't think he's coming.
I think if he continues to score in the Bundesliga come November, and you need some versatility in that trio of strikers that you have, because they're all kind of in the same bucket. They all kind of they kind of do all the same thing. You need to have somebody who can give you something different, because in a game where you need to change tactics, maybe you got to lump it forward or just whip balls in the box. You need to have somebody who can score goals, and it's just a big target, big body. For me, I think that if he continues to impress and play and
what
score,
else is he had to, but Charlie, he didn't get called in for these, and he's already proven that.
I know,
he's
but
already done enough in the Bundesliga.
But this is just a camp. This is a camp. This isn't the end. You still have you still have, if Malik Tillman continues to go like up and down, he doesn't really do it, I could see him not going.
That's okay. I agree with you on that, but I don't know.
Malik Tillman has no professional seasons. This is his first full professional season, right?
Like I think that P-Fox should go for all the reasons that we've suggested. I don't understand why he's not in this camp. I just don't understand why he's not here.
That's why
guess what? Situationally, we might fall behind Japan or Saudi Arabia. So wouldn't you want to see what that looks like? Or to Greg's point, I've already know what P-Fox can bring, so I need to see other guys. Like, well, you already know what Sargent can bring, baby. Like, you could use that same rhetoric for all the players.
Let me ask you guys
this.
How
it goes. Coaches can use whatever they want.
No, of course. Well, they're in charge.
Any reasoning to select players.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
and it can work against you. It can work for you.
Yeah, true.
Let me ask you guys this. because we know how it works, right? You see in scenarios where they go, well, I want you playing regularly, and then when you play regularly, you're like, well, I want to see you playing regularly for a full season. You know? Like I want to see you really, and I want you to dominate
and in the top league.
Yeah, you got to be against better competition. Like we know, like you have any excuse you want when you're a coach, and some of them are valid, and some of them are just the easiest way out. I get that, but for Jordan Pefok, and I was talking to my guy John Parker about this yesterday, who was saying, in theory, aren't our best guys in the air already on the field? If you are looking for a Jordan Pefok to come in the game, and it's going to be on, like what you're looking for is somebody in set pieces, in theory, right? Which is Walker Zimmerman, Weston McKennie, are like basically our center backs, and Weston are our best.
I don't think Pefok is in there for his aerial prowess. I don't think he's even that great in the air, all that great in the air. I think what he's great at is just being a big body in the box and throwing his long ass legs at a cross and just being a nuisance, drawing two center backs or two defenders out of space to mark him, create space for somebody else. And maybe it's his near post run or a flick or whatever it is. He has a knack. We've seen it in Champions League, even when he's scoring against, top clubs. It's not that you're like, oh my God, Pefok can dribble all these players and Pefok's so good in the air. No, he's just a presence and he has a nose for goal. You can't teach that. That's why I'm saying, man, a striker of his size and just his ability in the box just to score goals and put himself in good spots, I think you can always make room for that, especially if you're in form, right? You're in form in the Bundesliga, not just if he was still in Switzerland, you could make that argument all day.
Totally.
Yeah. It's the Bundesliga.
It is kind of sad that we said, we'll see. We're going to give him 3/4 of a goal for every goal he scored because he was in the league and they didn't even win the league and blah, 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 blah. And then he's gone to the Bundesliga and he basically scores every game or has an assist.
He's got 2 goals and 2 assists in 5 Bundesliga games.
Maybe,
they're top of the table.
He's getting subbed in the 60th minute or 70th minute. He can't finish a game. So that's why.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Gio Reyna then, getting a surprise start, in my humble opinion, against Manchester City. Obviously going to be a tough task for any player and any team. We're going to be chasing shadows for a lot of the game. But he got to get the run out, and he doesn't look out of place out there. That's always the number one thing I'm looking at. Do our guys look out of place? And Gio obviously has the talent to run with anybody in the world, which is very cool to see. What is your thoughts about it, Heath? Is there anything about his game that you liked, or was you just happy that he got some minutes?
No, but Micah Richards said that Gio Reyna has just been on it this year and obviously doesn't know that he's coming off of an injury and barely played. but shout out to getting the big stage and then going to the Americans and then not actually knowing what Gio Reyna says. But also Gio Reyna
forgive the homie. He missed that piece of homework, that sheet.
Anyways, but obviously the truth within all of what Micah Richards said is just the quality that Gio Reyna has. He's an unbelievable player, and I think I still continue to believe has the most upside of anybody to be a star in our national team. Again, we talk about Yunus Musa being potentially the same, but in terms of that upside of what his age is and the comfort he has and just his ability to just look at a field and go like, oh yeah, I can take on any one of these guys. I can create moments of magic. I can beat somebody on the dribble. I can set up a final pass. I can finish. Like those are things that are going to only get better with his game, and to be his age and coming off of his injuries and the mental side of that is pretty spectacular.
I agree with you. What I want to say when I watched his 90 minutes, and Charlie, I'm going to throw it to you on this, is that, or his significant minutes for Dortmund yesterday, I don't know if he's playing at 100%, and I don't know if he will. And I assume at the World Cup he will, because it's the World Cup, and whatever happens after that, if you get hurt, well, the World Cup's over, and this is kind of what you're building up to, so you're trying to save yourself for this. My fear is that he probably doesn't press as consistently or as hard as Greg's going to want, and I think that's going to make room for Brendan Aronson to potentially start, or Timo Weah. Like that's my only fear. That on the flip side to what Heath said, you get this guy that's incredibly talented and his ceiling is limitless. The guy is incredibly talented. But the other side of it is, and this is also something I had when I was playing, do you want your most talented players to waste any goddamn energy playing defense? You really don't. But as it seems to shift in the modern game, everybody has to be locked in and doing their job and doing their
Coach
part.
Jim, come on now.
I'm just saying though. I played with Preki, won 2 MLS MVP awards. The guy didn't want to defend. And when you think about it, I don't really want him to defend. We should be able to, in theory, definitely a different time because I played in the 50s. But if you have 7 guys or 6 or 7 guys behind the ball, they should be able to solve a lot of the problems. And that allows a Preki-esque player to find those pockets. And when he gets the ball, he's got the energy to essentially run downhill and make some magic happen. And I wonder that with Gio Reyna because, and I don't think our team is set up for that. And I wonder if that's going to be making him the odd man out and maybe more of a super sub than as a starter because he might not be doing those other necessary things at that level. I think he can do it. It's just a matter of whether he wants to. Now, this might be me nitpicking him a little bit, but this is the little things that I'm seeing, mainly because I'm a little bit concerned that he's not playing at 100%, which I get because every time he goes to 100%, he gets hurt. And that's been happening a couple times now. And that makes me a bit nervous for him and his career overall.
I don't think it's that he's not playing 100%. I just think he's not 100% fit.
Okay.
He's not recovered all the way.
No. That's a great distinction. I appreciate you bringing that up. I agree with you.
Still pushing forward to catch up, considering all the time he missed out. So if he stays injury free, because with each injury, you learn a little bit more about yourself, and you also learn a little bit more about the push to trying to fulfill your potential and fulfill kind of the amount of time that you've missed. And so I think for Gio Reyna, it's all about the recovery and the preparation. So if he can continue to build himself up come World Cup time, you're going to be asked to defend and attack, especially in the Bundesliga. A club like Dortmund, you can't you're not allowed to just sit and attack. You have to defend. Otherwise, you lose to Bayern 10 times out of 10 times. You can't, your team just doesn't have that luxury. So I think for Gio Reyna, it's just, we all know he's so gifted. And when he is playing and fulfilling his potential, he will be starting on this group. And he's one of the most special players that we've ever produced. Given that, Yunus Musa's up in the same category as him, because Yunus Musa has things that he doesn't have. So I'm really high on this group. I'm really high on Gio Reyna.
They're both 19, right? Aren't they both 19 still? I think Musa turns 20 in like a month or something like that, and Gio's still 19, if I remember correctly.
I just think it's just going to take time.
Okay, that's fair, and I appreciate that take. I'm just kind of, I guess, extrapolating what that would look like, and when Greg's trying to build his team, will he include that or take into consideration that we may not have 100% fit Gio Reyna for a number of reasons. One could be physical, one could be emotional, right? And just that risk of always like, oh man, if I push
Musa
too hard, but Musa's got. I'm not worried about Musa. I'm more worried about Gio
athletic ability, acceleration, the ability to really break through the lines with a certain burst that Gio Reyna doesn't have.
So we got a question for everybody listening. Roman says, what does Musa have that Gio does not? And so, Charlie, that's your answer.
Yes.
To that. All right, let's take a look now at our center backs. We got Cameron Carter-Vickers getting a full 90 in their 1-1 draw for Celtic against Shakhtar Donetsk. Again, I just want to reiterate it. I know we talked about it a little bit yesterday during the roster drop announcement, an emergency podcast alert on that. Heath, do you think that Cameron Carter-Vickers, especially given the experience he's going to get in these group stages in a very tough group, do you think he's going to potentially start in these Japan and Saudi Arabia games? Would you give him a look at this point?
I think you have to, because I don't feel like Greg had, like, when I think about Aaron Long, I think Greg trusts him. Like him, hate him, say he's in good form or bad form. I think, or at least knows what he's going to get from Aaron Long. Weirdly, again, take his club form out. Greg has a vision, right? He can write down this guy's strengths and weaknesses, and this is what I see him. We all agree he's not back to what he was from his injury, and we all have our opinions as to Aaron Long's form and those things. But Greg, I think, has an opinion. Cameron Carter-Vickers, I don't think Greg has the full picture of him yet, right? To be able to say, I know he's good in this situation. I know like where his weaknesses are. I know how the team needs to set up. I need how to instruct him to play within his parameters to get the most out of himself and for the team. So I do think it's a long-winded answer, but like I do think you have to play him to continue to get a better look as to, can he be my starter, right? Can he challenge Chris Richards or Aaron Long to be a starter in this group? But I think he's pretty well defined. That's how I'm looking at it. Again, that's it's a very channeled view. Maybe you guys feel differently about why he shouldn't play in these two games, but that's at least one thing that I see. I see that with Chris Richards too, which is like, Chris Richards is very good. But does Greg still want one or two more looks to say, can you be my guy in the World Cup versus a guy that maybe we go to, maybe your starter, maybe not, or be like the starter in the way that we saw when he went in on Zimmerman. Like there's been no question about Zimmerman since then, you know?
So I feel like things are starting to get a little bit more crystallized, as they should, Charlie, as we get closer to the official roster date on November 9th, when everything has to get announced. It looks like Matt Turner is going to be our number one. Zach Steffen, not great at Burrow and now hurts. And so not even called into this camp. So that's of interest. I think that when healthy, Des and Anthony Robinson are going to be our outside backs. Center back starts to, well, I think we're going to get it obviously very crystallized here over these next two friendlies. The midfield's set, and now it's just a matter of maybe one of the wingers and one of the number 9s. How are you feeling about all this? And any chiming in on Cameron Carter-Vickers or any other positions on the field?
I'm excited for November. I'm really excited for these friendlies just to see what this group looks like. It's another 2 games to try and start moving in the right direction, getting on point with tactics and press and, possession, because ultimately it's about the ideas and creativity. And I want to see what Yunus Musa now looks like since he's been playing centrally for Valencia. Does it look a little bit better? And are the ideas with McKennie and Adams? Because we're going to depend on our midfield to win games. Our midfield is what's going to define us and really set the tone for us. Keeping possession, winning the ball back, second balls, transition, closing down space, all of that. Adams, McKennie, and Musa, we are kind of basically going to say, win the games for us, lose the games for us. So I'm excited to see what that looks like in these friendlies.
I think they're going to do great. And the more minutes they can get together, the only more efficient they're going to be when the World Cup starts. It's just a matter of, are the guys around them going to make plays? Are we going to be, I think we could potentially win all 3 of the games in the middle of the park, but are we not making mistakes on the defensive side or the defensive third? And are we taking our chances in the attacking third? So obviously those are the fine margins that ultimately make or break whether you're going to get through a group or not. Okay, we're getting close to the end of the show, Heath. I obviously think that these jerseys that just dropped are going to completely inspire our guys to make a deep run. There's no question of that. Any final thoughts for you about the show? Obviously, we go again tomorrow. We'll start previewing all the games for the guys as they get their one last look in before they join the national team on the 19th.
No, I mean, mostly just people that are either listening to this or watching this. I got just 2 questions for everyone. Like, one, is anybody collecting these sticker books for the World Cup? Because that'd be fun if we can do that along the way with you. If you are, join in on the fun. We're gonna do some of those things here in the future. And then 2, is anybody actually going to the World Cup? Because I continue to hear, I'm running into people here in LA around the way that are just from different countries, different parts, take their news from different places, and there's a lot of people saying this one feels different. And I know that's what happens every World Cup, but I'm just wondering who's actually going. Is anybody going?
I'm on the fence. I might be going. I'm 50-50 at this point. Charlie, what about you? Are you any plans to go or any final thoughts? Of course, you have final thoughts because we got. I gave you an extra couple minutes for this one. Keep going.
No plans to go. I plan on watch parties. I plan on pumping up the crowd and watching it with large groups of people. But that's about it. I'm excited.
So like a normal barbecue at one of your
like Charlie. What do you guys go through, Charlie, at your estate? Like 15, 16 kegs? Is that what you guys usually order in?
That's minimum. That's minimum.
12
I mean on like
the
taps that you guys have in the
it's
kitchen.
It's a Catalina wine mixer. You know what I mean? Always Catalina wine mixer.
Let me go to my storage and count.
All right, we're going to call it a show right here, everybody. So thank you for listening and watching. As always, on behalf of producer Des, producer Alex, Charlie Chuck Wagon Davies, and Hollywood Heath Pearce, I'm Jimmy Trashcan Conrad saying thank you for your support as always, and we will see you tomorrow for more of the good stuff. Later.